I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, here we go. Mark Nelson, Mark D'Antuma, the Battle of the Marks. On the front row, Aaron Mason, Gerald Poole on the second row. Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel, and Donald Double D Durance on the third row. Blake Lawrence and DJ the Iceman Kenner round out the field. All the drivers coming down the back straightaway. Pace car will hit pit road. Out of turn 4, everybody will fire. 110 laps, competition caution. On lap 37, they will have enough fuel to go the distance from the comp caution. Tires will be the question mark. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air there, down and away at New Hampshire. Aaron Mason shoots it underneath D'Antuma through 1 and 2. Battling for second, Thanos on his way forward up to 4th. Durance now in 5th. DJ Kenner, who did not qualify, already sneaking past Blake Lawrence. Keep an eye on that purple and white car. Meanwhile, D'Antuma is already shot to the lead, but overshoots it in 1 and 2. He went way up the track, and now Nelson has a run at the bottom. Could see a lot of back and forth between these two drivers. Although you'll note D'Antuma, unfortunately, back in the Ford tonight. He said he has gotten to win in a Chevy. He's gotten to win in a Toyota. He's going to pull off a win in all three. That's only if the Fords don't blow up on him. Aaron Mason now up into 3rd. Gerald Poole closing in at 4th. Durance now up into 5th, but DJ climbing. He is currently in 6th. Mark D'Antuma has the fastest lap of the race so far with the lead. Starting to put some space between him and Mark Nelson. Hey, good evening, Pete. Gerald Poole catching up on the back bumper of Aaron Mason. Aaron has been moving up through the points the last few weeks. Aaron now up to the top 5 in points, just behind Gerald Poole. So this battle, not only a battle on track, but a battle for points, as Gerald just over 20 points ahead. Mark Nelson in 2nd, about 0.8 of a second back. Aaron Mason in 3rd. DJ Kenner now up to 5th, about 2.8 seconds behind Gerald. Gerald starting to look low on Aaron Mason. Aaron shuts the door into 3. Dan Tuma still out front. Mark Nelson less than a second behind. Caution! Caution is out for the first time. Nicole, that's what she said. Creasel involved. Nicole looks like coming out of turn 4. The back end steps out. No, that was in the middle of 1 and 2. The back end just steps around. She keeps it out of the wall, gets it rolling again, but did lose some track position. Pete, I have 4 daughters, buddy. You ain't heard me, yo. By the way, Pete, check Messenger. I sent you a picture last night. Nicole, the only one on pit road at the moment. Likely just a tire change here, as she did not get any damage. She kept it out of the wall. Mark Dantuma will line up with Mark Nelson on the high side yet again. Aaron Mason, Gerald Poole right behind. DJ Kenner, Donald Durant right behind them. And Blake Lawrence at the back. Nicole will make it out on the lead lap. As the lights go out on the pace car, everybody stacks back up side by side. Mark versus Mark once again. But they have to be a little bit worried. DJ Kenner is now up into 5th place. Here we go, out of turn 4, pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. Mark Dantuma quickly clears into the lead. Aaron Mason slides up behind Mark Nelson. Gerald Poole still right there on Aaron's bumper. Nicole quickly shoots back by. Blake Lawrence now trying to reel in Donald Durant. Mark Nelson keeping Mark Dantuma a little bit closer this time around, as Blake Lawrence trying to get underneath Nicole Creasel. Blake looks like he may clear out of turn 4. Blake Lawrence back to 7th. Nicole back to 8th. Aaron Mason still holds on to 3rd for the moment. DJ Kenner closing back up on Mason and Poole. Whoa, Aaron Mason gets way loose out of 2. He does manage to save it, but DJ Kenner goes by. And caution is out. Donald Durant's around. There's Donald Double D Durant through the turn. In the middle of the turn, back in, just steps out on him. Gets it down off the track before Blake and Nicole get there. And looks like gets it back up on track. Nobody goes into pit road this time. Everybody trying to make their stuff last to the competition caution. They know the fuel will go that far easily, but trying to make the tires last as well. There were concerns coming into the race. Several drivers on iRacing over the last 24 hours having connection difficulties. Mark D'Antuma lost connection earlier during practice. A little bit of a blink a moment ago. Looks like everybody is okay. Donald Durant's dropping back to 8th. He has got some work ahead of him. Meanwhile, DJ Kenner has moved up into 4th as they stack back up for the restart. It is still Mark versus Mark up front. Through 3 and 4, pace car about to pull in. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. D'Antuma, another perfect restart. Gets out ahead of Mark Nelson. Gerald Poole tried to shoot it. He is now underneath Mark Nelson for 2nd. It's going to be a drag race to turn 3. Mark Nelson on the high side has the advantage off the turn, and here comes the Iceman. Out of turn 4, Nelson has the nose ahead. DJ now trying to go through the open door up top. Down the back straightaway, still a 3-car battle. Mark Nelson holding him off, trying to hold on to second. Gerald sends it deep into 3. But out of 4, Mark Nelson finally clears. Mark D'Antuma loved knowing that battle was going on. He has pulled out to a 1.1 second lead since the restart. Gerald Poole sitting in 3rd. The Iceman now in 4th. Aaron Mason currently runs back in 5th. Blake Lawrence holds on to 6th. Donald Durant's in 7th. Nicole Creasel in 8th. Blake had not turned laps here until just a little bit ago. Doing a great job for his first time on the track. Gerald has not backed off the back bumper of Mark Nelson yet. Normally, here at New Hampshire, we're talking about the cars getting loose out of turn 2 on cold tires. It does seem the longer they go, the looser the car is getting on corner exit. We've seen Aaron Mason, Nicole Creasel, Donald Durant all having problems with it since the drop of the green. And with all that going on back behind, Mark D'Antuma just out for a Sunday cruise. The Iceman has lost a little bit of ground on Thanos. He was right on the bumpers of Gerald Poole and Mark Nelson earlier, right after the restart. Hey, good evening, Kevin. There is a caveat to tonight's race. Since this is Blake Lawrence's first race here, he has been instructed, because D'Antuma isn't a Ford, not to let him win, to take whatever measures are necessary to prevent that Ford from getting to victory lane. D'Antuma has a 1 1/4 second lead now over Mark Nelson. DJ Kenner has finally got to 3rd, followed by Gerald Poole still holding on to 4th. Aaron Mason lurking back in 5th. Blake Lawrence in 6th, Nicole in 7th, and Donald Durant still struggling. Durant's had been coming through the field prior to that spin, but now all the way back in 8th. Dan Tuma did put in the second most laps in practice. The most laps turned in practice was done by Donald Durant. However, Mark Nelson put in a lot of practice laps last night, apparently. A lot of these drivers did say, a few were talking about shifting, but I think a lot of them are just staying in 4th gear all the way around the track. See if we can ride along with Mark Nelson, see what he is doing. Currently in 4th gear through 3 and 4, back on the power. Out of the throttle, never hits 5th gear through 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, full power out of the turn. And still not going to 5th gear. With the tire wear here though, may not need to shift. Most of the drivers have already seen a fall off of roughly half a second or more as they approach the competition caution. And that could be the last caution we see tonight. This race could come down to who can manage their tires better, as Gerald Poole has taken 3rd back from DJ. Gerald Poole, DJ Kenner have raced together for many, many years. They know how each other races, and they know where and when to make that move. Blake Lawrence still holding on to 6th. Nicole in 7th. Durant's in 8th. Should be seeing competition caution next time by. Mark Dantuma crosses the start-finish line with the lead. Comp caution is out. All the drivers will go to pit road for 4 tires and fuel. If the race stays green, they do not need to come back in for more fuel. Mark Nelson in 2nd, Gerald Poole up to 3rd, the Iceman in 4th, Aaron Mason in 5th, Blake Lawrence, Donald Durant, and Nicole Kriesel round out the field. Should see all the drivers to pit road this time by. And here they come, led in by Mark D'Antuma, who has led every lap so far. Right side's up, 4 tires and fuel. Left side's now up as well. And who was it at the line? It looks like Mark Nelson wins the race off pit road. Mark D'Antuma in second. Gerald Poole third. DJ Kenner fourth. Aaron Mason in fifth. See if we can get a word with the third place driver, Gerald Thanos Poole. Hey, Gerald, it's Doug. You got me?
10-4.
A lot of back and forth there between you and DJ. Which one of you is faster?
Whoever doesn't mess up the most on that last lap. It's really about even. It just depends on how you get the end of the corners.
Well, it's been a lot of fun watching you guys go back and forth. Good luck, buddy.
10-4, thank you.
Does look like they may have shortened the caution just a little bit to get them back. Green flag racing. Hey, good evening, Steven Seams. How are you, buddy? Oh, no, they're extending the caution one more lap, trying to get everybody lined back up. Donald Durant's catching up to the tail end of the field. Blake Lawrence looks like he had a problem on pit road. He has gone a lap down. Mark versus Mark once again. Nelson on the inside. Pace car is in. Here we go. Green flag back in the air, and Mark Nelson full sends on the restart, already to the high line into one. D'Antuma closing the gap just a bit. Gerald Poole pulls up behind him. DJ Kenner, Aaron Mason right behind. Donald Durant's trying to reel him back in. Nicole Creasel back in seventh. Blake Lawrence currently a lap down, hoping for another caution. D'Antuma already back to Mark Nelson's bumper. And he looks slow as they go into three. Sends it deep into turn three. He's got that fresh rubber. Might as well use it down the front stretch toward turn one. Gerald Poole lurking right behind both of them. And it is a drag race down the back straightaway. D'Antuma has the nose ahead through 3 and 4. Nelson has the advantage on the high line, carries the momentum out of the turn. Dan Tuma's got to keep sending it as deep as possible into the turn. Prior to the competition, caution, Dan Tuma. Oh no, DJ's loose. Back behind, right in front of Aaron. No caution yet. The caution flies. DJ the Iceman Kenner, problems out of 4. Let's see what happened. DJ just out of turn 4 on the power. Aaron Mason has nowhere to go. Both of them heavily damaged. Everybody else managing to sneak by. Watching in car from Aaron Mason, nowhere to go. Ouch. Don't forget, folks, come back at 9:30 tonight. The SMR Gen 4 Cup Series takes on Irwindale. That's going to be one heck of a show right there. Blake Lawrence is getting waved around back to the lead lap. DJ Kenner has completed his pit stop, as has Aaron Mason. Both cars fully repaired, ready to go again. Mark Dantuma had just taken the lead when the caution flew. He will control the restart. Now the question is, can Mark Nelson beat him off the start to get the lead back? Everybody stacks back up, ready to go. 1 lap to green. And we haven't cranked it up yet tonight. So when the green flag drops, I'll stop talking. You guys crank it up and listen to all that horsepower. Here they come through turns 3 and 4. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. Crank it up, everybody. Mark D'Antuma still holds the lead. You gotta love the crank it up. Mark Nelson in second. Gerald Poole in third. Donald Double D Durant's now up into fourth place. Aaron Mason right behind him in fifth. The Iceman in sixth. Those two involved in that previous caution trying to fight their way back toward the front. Aaron sends it deep into three, trying to close the gap on Durant. Gerald Poole staying right with Mark Nelson. Mark D'Antuma, meanwhile, a 1.2 second lead. Durant's in fourth. Aaron Mason in fifth. DJ Kenner back in sixth. Kenner is closing on the two cars ahead. Oh, Durant's may have taken 1 and 2 a little too high this time. Seems to have made it work. Aaron Mason a little bobble out of turn 2, but he holds on to it. Mason now looks underneath Durant's, but Durant's again, the advantage on corner exit goes to that high line. Gerald Poole, Mark Nelson out front. Both drivers good at saving their cars, making that set of tires last as Gerald starting to peak under Mark. Another driver very good at saving his tires. DJ Kenner, who just took 5th place from Durant's. Aaron Mason now up into 4th. DJ Kenner in 5th. Durant's back into 6th. Mark Nelson still having to defend 2nd place. Mark D'Antuma a 1.2 second lead at the moment. Gerald looks low at a 4. Does he have enough momentum this time? Not quite yet. He has to wait for Nelson to make a mistake or for him to get a really big run to make the move. DJ Kenner closing back up to Aaron Mason's bumper. Donald Durant's lurking not far behind. DJ looks under Aaron. DJ has the nose in. Aaron may outdo him on exit, and he does. Mark D'Antuma, meanwhile, extending his lead to 1.6 seconds over Mark Nelson. D'Antuma has been closing the points gap on Mark Nelson for several weeks now, and is just over 30 points behind. D'Antuma definitely wants to see Mark Nelson having to battle in his mirror. DJ Kenner finally clearing Aaron Mason into 4th, but now 4 1/4 seconds behind Gerald Poole. Mark D'Antuma's lead now 1.8 seconds. Nelson opens up a gap on Thanos. And DJ the Iceman Kenner has already started chopping away dramatically at the gap to Thanos. He was 4 1/4 seconds back, now about 3.8. Aaron Mason still lurks in 5th. Durant's in 6th. Lawrence in 7th. Oh, Nicole just smacked the wall. Out of turn 4. She had a run on Blake. Just got a little greedy. D'Antuma's lead now almost 2 seconds over the Mark Nelson. Gerald Poole sits in 3rd, but 1.2 seconds back. He is losing ground on the cars ahead. DJ back in 4th. DJ holding about 4 seconds behind Gerald at the moment. Everybody settling into a run. As the field spreads out, the probability of a caution goes down, meaning the drivers have to be more conservative to make their tires last to the end. Mark D'Antuma's lead continuing to grow. It is now 2.3 seconds. Oh, Gerald loose and a 2. What a save. DJ back and forth, gained over a half second on Thanos that time. That one mistake on corner exit was huge. But now the question is, does DJ have the tires to run him down? Mark Nelson in second, 2.2 seconds behind Mark D'Antuma. Blake Lawrence has had a problem back behind. And I think I just saw the tire tracks in the grass on the backstretch. Caution! Nicole Creasel also involved. Blake coming out of turn 2, gets loose, slides it through the grass. There's a couple spots as part of the road course he almost got her straightened out. Blake has one heck of a rough ride. And moments later, Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel just gets loose. Mid-turn goes around, but again keeps it out of the wall and out of trouble. Everybody is coming into pit road this time. Mark the man D'Antuma leading them in, and we mentioned it earlier on a couple of times. We see at this track all the time, the exit of turn 2, especially on cold tires, these cars tend to get very, very loose. The drivers have to hold on to them early on in the run, but it appears in this car, it's late in the run, the right rear starts going away. And let's see if we can get a word with our new leader, the Mark Nelson. Hey, Mark, it's Doug. You got me?
I gotcha.
All right, under no circumstances can you let a Ford win, sir.
I'm doing my best, Doug, but Mark just trusts his car more than I trust mine.
Well, he trusts it to blow up at some point, man. It seems like early in the run you guys are right there, nose to tail, battling it out. But then late in the run, is it him getting faster or you getting slower?
Well, I would argue that he gains a lot of that at the beginning of the run, and I'm just waiting for something to go my way, and I can start reeling him back in. And I was really counting on that to go to the checkered flag. That was probably my best shot, so that caution might have just given him the win, unless somebody else can race him.
Well, hopefully some of these guys back behind hold him up for you. But, man, a great battle so far. Get another good launch, and hopefully you can pull this off.
I'll do my best.
Mark the man D'Antuma in the Ford tonight. He said he has gotten a win in the Chevy. He's gotten a win in the Toyota. He wants a win in the Ford. And then he'll go back to driving the Chevy like any sane individual would. Lights are out on the pace car. They're stacked up side by side, ready to go. Just over 30 laps to go here at New Hampshire. Pace car is in. Mark Nelson in control. Mark fires, they are away, and green is in the air. Gerald Poole might have his bell. Holy cow, Mark Dantuma just sent that car to the lead. I don't know that I have been doing this 4 years. I don't know that I have ever seen anything like what Dantuma just did. Let's take another look at that. Watch Mark Dantuma in that yellow Ford. Mark Nelson gets an epic launch out to the front, but into turn one, Dantuma sends it deep, almost has contact, bounces it off the wall, never lifts. Let's take another look from the in-car, because I want to know if that was a Chastain move. Hits third gear down the front straightaway into fourth, deep into one on the brakes, goes. Nope, he lifted briefly. Wow. Mark Nelson to the lead. Dantuma may have some right side damage as Thanos looks underneath. This race just heated up a bit. DJ Kenner back there in fourth, probably scratching his head, wondering what the heck just happened. $30 laps to go at New Hampshire. Mark Dantuma now looking back underneath Gerald Poole for second place. We will definitely be asking Dantuma about that if we get a chance to interview him after the race. If not, folks, come back at 9:30. I will make sure we interview Dantuma at some point tonight. Also worth noting, HTSAI's birthday is coming up next month. Oh, Dantuma may have kissed the wall again. Who knows, we might give away another iRacing membership for our birthday. Donald Durant's back in sixth, is closing the gap on fifth place. Aaron Mason. DJ Kenner still within striking distance of the top three. Kevin, you missed that? All right, everybody who wants to see that restart again, raise your hand in the comments. Look at this. Gerald Poole is going for the lead under Mark Nelson. Thanos may have something for him here tonight. Gerald has not been to BRR victory lane in quite some time. Looking under Nelson, can't get the run out of the turn, but keeping the door shut on Dantuma. All right, let's take another look, a different angle on that restart move. Here in just a moment. Caution! Caution is out. Blake Lawrence with 25 to go. All right, first let's see what's happened with Blake. Oh, another one loose on old tires. But Blake keeps his foot on the brakes and out of the wall. Great save by Blake. Now, will the leaders come in? Let's take a quick look. Take a quick look at this restart one more time. Now, things are getting frisky up at the front, that is for sure. Pace car dropped in. Dantuma up on the high side. Nelson gets a huge jump, but Mark Dantuma, full send or no send, through 1 and 2, bounces it off the wall, and almost took the lead on that move. Pit stops have been completed. Everybody has been in, and Dantuma is back to the lead. Let's see if we can get a quick word. Hey, Mark, it's Doug. You got me?
I got you, Doug.
Are we about to see another wild restart? Because that last one, wow.
Yeah, it's going to be even worse because I just took right sides and everybody else took 4. So we're looking at fixing to have a disaster.
That definitely looked like, was it Chastain at Martinsville last year? That definitely had shades of that. We looked at your in-cars, though. Surprisingly, you lifted going through 1 and 2.
Yeah, because I was in a 4-wheel drift. It's that last tire change. It's like, I don't know if it iced over or what, but it was pretty exciting.
Well, great job and great save on that one. You're back in the lead, man. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Okay, this is going to get wild because he has right sides only. And he is correct. Everybody else took 4 tires. That was very close to a Dylan move right there. Nicole Creasel and Blake Lawrence did not come to pit road. They should be waved past the pace car. Yes, they are. Bit of a surprise that neither of those drivers come into pit road. Both of them do get their lap back, though. Will right side tires be enough to finish it off at New Hampshire? We'll have just about 20 laps to figure it out. Pace car is in. Dan Tuma in control. He fires. They are away. Green back in the air. 20 to go. And holy crap, Aaron Mason sent it up the middle. 3 wide. It didn't work. But what a gutsy send. We'll take a look at that one here in just a moment. Did cause the Iceman to lose a little bit of ground. Aaron saw the opening between DJ and Gerald. Oh, gets into DJ's left rear. DJ loose all the way through 1 and 2. Aaron manages to get back by. Some gutsy moves going on out here tonight. Mark Dantuma out front by 0.8 of a second over Mark Nelson. Gerald Poole back there in third. Donald Durant with his new lucky hat back up into fourth. "17 laps. Can Dantuma hold off?" Dantuma just set the fastest lap of the night. Mark Dantuma, Mark Nelson, Gerald Poole. Oh, Gerald, a little problem out of 2. Donald Durant taking the opportunity, closing the gap. "15 laps to go, despite the fact that Dantuma has the fastest lap. The Mark Nelson is not letting him get away. Gerald Poole, though, even with 4 fresh Goodyears, is losing ground. Donald Durant, a little bobble out of Durant's coming out of 4. Mark Dantuma set the fastest lap again. 31.44 this time. And he opened the gap to almost a second. Mark Nelson is pushing it. His lap time's barely slower. We're talking hundredths of a second slower each lap than the leaders. The question is, does he have enough time left to close that gap? Gerald Poole back in third has put a little breathing room between him and Durant. Aaron Mason, DJ Kenner battling for fifth. Gerald Poole looks like making his first podium this season as the Iceman, holy cow! Caution is out. Well, this just got even more interesting. Let's see what happened with the Iceman. DJ sent it down into one, breaks loose mid-turn. Let's take another look at this one from a little further back. DJ just lost the right rear through 1 and 2. Doesn't hit anything, gets it gathered up. Blake Lawrence has gone to pit road. He is the only one in. Nobody else wanting to give up track position here. They stack back up, should be getting 1 to green. Dan Tuma in control of the restart. Mark Dan Tuma chooses the high line. Mark Nelson on the bottom. Gerald Poole now back in the fight. Donald Double D Durant's also in the fight here. Will it be one of the marks, or will we get a surprise from behind? Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. 7 to go at the line. Dan Tuma, another perfect launch. Mark Nelson closing the gap in second, but Gerald Poole, Donald Durant right there. Aaron Mason, DJ Kinner lurking as well. The leaders cannot afford a single mistake. Six laps to go. Dan Tuma on right sides. Everybody else on 4 fresh tires from the last caution. Dan Tuma unable to put the big gap on him like he did last time. Mark Nelson just a couple car lengths behind. Gerald Poole a couple car lengths behind that. Whoa, Mark Nelson really up the track that time. Trying to find any speed he can. DJ Kenner on the move, looks underneath Aaron Mason as the battle for 5th. DJ gets through and is underneath the Rance. Mason gets the run off for the moment. Gerald Poole lurking back in 3rd, about 1 second back. 3 laps to go. Mark Nelson closing back up. Mark versus Mark as they go through 3 and 4. 2 distinctly different ways of attacking the turns here. 2 to go. Mark Nelson taking a lower exit. Can he carry more momentum off? Dan Tuma pulls a little bit of a gap. Out of turn 4, white flag is in the air one more time around. Mark Dantuma has led the most laps tonight. He said he got to win in a Toyota, got to win in a Chevy. If he could win in a Ford, he would go back to driving the Chevy. Into turns 3 and 4. Thankfully, we will not have to see that Ford anymore this season. One last push from Nelson isn't enough. Mark Dantuma wins at New Hampshire. Mark Nelson coming home in 2nd. Gerald Poole, one of his best finishes of the season, in 3rd. And let's talk to our top 3, starting with Thanos. Gerald, one of your best finishes of the season, and looked like you were going to steal the lead away at a couple of points.
Yeah, I mean, it just really kind of depended on how your tires cycled. I mean, sometimes they were really good, and man, sometimes it was just like you were skating all everywhere.
Well, it definitely worked out for you, man. It was a great finish, and it was great seeing you back up in the battle. Congrats, buddy.
10-4. Thank you a lot, man.
Mark Nelson coming home in 2nd. Mark, that last lap push was pretty impressive how much ground you gained, but just not quite enough.
Honestly, I think he went in the corner easy so that he wouldn't miss the corner, and that's what made it look good.
Well, you definitely gave him one heck of a run for his money. I really thought you had it when he took 2 tires on that last stop. I didn't think he'd be able to hold you off like that.
It was just not that long since the previous tire change, so that he had that working for him. I was hoping, too, that it might pay off, but I really needed to have a 40, 50 lap run like we were supposed to have there, but those cautions coming out are just going to kill me. So congrats to Mark. He was the fastest car. So yeah, I can't be sad about that. It's a little bit off.
You still got the points lead for the time being. Just keep him behind you the rest of the season.
I will sure try.
Congrats, buddy.
See ya.
And finally, our winner, Mark Dantuma. Mark the man Dantuma back in victory lane can finally retire the Ford.
Yes, I can. I have completed the Mad Dog sweep, so you won't have to complain about me driving a piece of crap anymore.
That was an impressive run, especially taking right sides only on the final stop. That was a gutsy call.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was going to pay off or not, but apparently the others struggled on the new tires just as bad as I was, so it worked out in the end.
You did end up setting the fastest lap of the race twice after getting right sides only. Was it helping you rotate through the middle?
No, it just seemed to be overall a little better grip for a while, and then we had that next caution, and they cooled down, and they were junk after that.
Well, they were good enough to get it done, man. Congratulations. Great win, buddy.
All right, thank you, Doug.
Mark Dantuma gets the win. Can he pull off 2 tonight? Find out at 9:30 Eastern. SMR Gen 4 Cup Series. God, they have had some great races so far. Looking forward to tonight. Pete, you're wrong, but to each his own, buddy. Hope everybody has a great night. Hope to see you back at 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you guys soon. Have a great one, everybody.